Thanks to the support as a channel member, Rob Perring. Oh, boys and girls, after all these years of tippy-tappy passing the ball around, it's actually quite good fun just getting the ball out to the wingers, having them swing it into the big man and scoring loads of goals. We can't defend, but who cares? We're scoring loads of goals. Hello and welcome to part 53 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a big FA Cup away game against National League South Lewis. I think it's Lewis. Them lot. And we're also playing Worcester in the league. Since you were last with me, as you can see, it's gone pretty well until we got the FA Cup draw, actually. I think it's just typical Football Manager things. It's a big game against a bigger team. They're fourth in the National League South. They're looking for promotion up to the National League. And I think that's just taken the edge off of our attacking prowess a little bit. You can see until then, we were scoring stupid goals. It was 4-3. A 6-4 against Ashford was a bonkers football match. We then followed it up by losing 4-3. We've had a 5-1 win in there. But we have drawn our last three games, which isn't ideal. At the end of August, we were top of the league, but we've let Hungerford nip past us now, but we are still in second place, albeit having played more games than everybody else around us. But second place, 21 points on the board already. That is jolly nice. What's also jolly nice is the fact that Craig Laycock, 10 goals from 11 matches in all competitions, 8 from 10 in the league. If we could somehow get $3,000 together, we could buy this boy permanently. The big worry that I've got is obviously with Hampton and Richmond being in our league, and not only in our league, but in 20th place in our league, it is a little bit of a worry because their top scorer has 4. And surely at some point, they have a look at Laycock and think that guy's scoring at nearly a goal a game in this league. He can be recalled. We're living in constant fear that at any point he might be recalled. But Best is still Best. He's got 7 goals and 8 assists from 11 appearances. Sam Camper has got 6 goals as well, playing as the more withdrawn of the two strikers as the target man. And even new boy Remy Kakit has weighed in with 10 goal contributions from 11 appearances. Our front four is, I mean, it reminds me, remember when we had a really good front four the year we got promoted from the league below? It's like that again. This front four is absolutely incredible. Only Tom Best is the survivor from that team that year. I don't know why we haven't got any star ratings for Laycock. I think we're pretty confident we know he's quite good. But the front four have been fantastic. Defensively, we're pathetic. But like I said in the intro, who cares about defending? Who cares about money? I don't really know how that's happened. Let's just win the league. But first, Lewis. No one knows. And it seems they're down in the distant south, sort of between Eastbourne and Brighton. In fact, Falmouth, isn't that where Brighton's stadium is? I'm sure it's out that way. So it's pretty close to where Brighton play, I think. Do they play at a ground called the Dripping Pan? That is a great name for a football ground. If that's the case, they seem to have 2 locations. They're based here and there. I think they play at the Dripping Pan. This might be my new favourite club. How have I not heard of the Dripping Pan before? They've got a 3G pitch as well. They've got some facilities here. I tell you what. Let's have a look from the road, shall we? So this looks like a jolly nice place. It looks seaside, even though I don't think we are at the seaside, based on the map we just looked at. But there's the sign to let us into the football club. Whenever this was, when was this? March 2022. They were playing Bishop Stortford. They've got a pay and display car park. The cheek of it. I guess this is also a town centre car park, and then you come down here and you get to the football club. This looks like a really nice setup. Welcome to the Dripping Pan. This is an awesome football club. Let's go knock them out of the FA Cup. And this is the team to do it. We've got Bosworth in goal, a back four of McDowell, Larson, Young and O'Doy. Cackett, O'Sullivan, Mingy and Best in midfield, and then Camper and Laycock up front. It's a pretty settled 11 that we've got at the moment, although our 2 central midfielders are both struggling a little bit for fitness. I think I'd signed O'Doy the last time you saw me. If I hadn't, this is Francis O'Doy. He's a right back who's in on loan for the rest of the season. We've also signed this guy, Sam Opoku, who's not very good, but provides us some backup on both wings, which we didn't really have. We certainly didn't have any backup to Tom Best. I brought him in with a view to, if he's basically our insurance policy, if Laycock does get recalled, we can stick Best up with Camper and bring somebody else in on the right-hand side. That's the plan there. And he's cheap, and cheap is important. But let's get the team submitted, and fingers crossed we can pull off something a little bit special. We really need, financially, another cup run. And obviously, we're a team who are in good form, and normally a team in good form the way we are, you'd back them against a team from the division above. The problem is, of course, this lot are in just as good form in their league. So it's going to be quite an interesting test of how good this squad that we've currently got actually is. If we were to get promoted this year, how competitive would we be in the league above? And I think a lot of these players, we're getting very close to the kind of starting territory for a typical non-league to legend. And I think a lot of these players would have got into my Tamworth team at the start of non-league to legend this year. So I don't think we're a million miles away from being a team that could compete in the National League South. But like I say, this is a bit of a test to that. And I mean, even if we were a competitive team at that level, going away from home against a team who are pushing for promotion is always tricky anyway. And it's made doubly tricky when your goalkeeper does something like that. You'll notice Bosworth is back in goal. He has been in goal for most of the run that we've just been on. We gave him his spot back mainly because he's the captain. But when he does stuff like this, it doesn't fill me with confidence that he is the way forward. And Sian Chali might end up surpassing him and becoming our starting goalkeeper eventually. I'm in two minds, but that wasn't very good, was it? Goodness me. Oh, my word. Another cross comes in there. They're really testing Bosworth. He didn't come for that one at all. He came flapping for the first one. These next two, he's not come forward at all because he flapped for the first one. And we've been done with two crosses. This is what we've been doing to everybody else all season long. And Lewis, the division above version of us, are they just slinging the ball into their wide players? I mean, they're playing a 4-2-4. So I suggest they probably are just getting it out wide and then slinging crosses into their centre forwards. And we're being undone with our own game plan here. They're just doing what we do better than we do it. But here is Laycock trying to get a counter-attack going, and he plays it forward to O'Sullivan. I'm not sure why O'Sullivan's the most attacking player, and neither's he. And he doesn't realise he was, because he's played it forward to absolutely no one. I have absolutely no idea what he's trying to do there. But it didn't work, did it? And now we're under attack again. And, oh dear, this is painful. I mean, I guess this does answer the question of how competitive we'd be if we got promoted this year. The answer is not very. Certainly not against a team like this, because we are being absolutely smashed by them. 3-0 down, and we're not even done in the first half yet. We're done in the FA Cup for this year, that's for sure. The annoying thing is, I mean, is it all on Bosworth? Because if you look at the XG between the two teams is basically the same. It feels a lot like yesterday's episode. We start things off with Bosworth. He has a terrible game. Do I drop him for the second match and then we win it? Because I did that and then let him back in. Oh, my word. This is comical from Bosworth today. I think this might be him done. This might be the end. Because I don't even want to see the replays of what he's doing. But they've scored 4 goals on an XG of less than 1. And you could only blame the goalkeeper when something like that happens. There's no way they're this good. They're not top of the National League South. And they're in again here, and they're going to score again. Do we take him up? We're going to take him off at half-time, I think. He is just... I've never seen anything like it. Every goal, every shot on goal is just flying. They've scored 5 goals on an XG of less than 1. They've had 7 shots on target and scored 5 times. I mean, he's done. Gilbert's on. I mean, it's really just damage limitation at this point. But this is the sort of thing that can absolutely destroy morale. I'm a little bit flabbergasted at what I've seen. We spent all that time talking about how good our front four was. Look at what their front four's done to us. But it's not even that they've been that great. I look at those match stats. Yikes. Just yikes. Well, we're trying to get ourselves a consolation goal. What is the point? We may as well just pack up. We should have just gone home at half time. Pack up, go home. Tails between our legs. Leave Bosworth here. Oh, right, we've got another player in the red here, McDowell. Probably drunk again. Harvey Brown's played left-back a couple of times for us. We are training him to play there. He's already a competent left-back. He's going to be no worse defensively than McDowell's been today, and the entire midfield are shattered as well. They were shattered going in, so we'll bring on Daredevil and Alderson in midfield and do him that way round, maybe. Tom Best, we may as well just protect him and take him off. Viala can come on the right. And we're just, yeah, it's all over. We're done. That was awful. Is it honestly still going? Can we just, I mean, every now and again, I'll get calls in the comment section of people telling me I reload. Now, based on the form that we've been in and what's happened there, if I was a reloader, do you not think I'd reload, maybe stick the other goalkeeper in and try again? Because this seems like such a fluke result. Wembley are red hot, according to the commentary there. We're 5-1 down. I mean, I think that's just an indication that we've scored in goodness knows how many consecutive matches. I think that's what sparks the red hot comment, but it is. I can only assume it was being used ironically there. We're actually ahead on XG. We have been the better team in this match, let down by the goalkeeper. And, I mean, I think that's probably the end for Bosworth, like I've said before. We are playing well now. Maybe we should have took him off sooner. I mean, to be fair, Lewis have dropped back to back five and just decided to sit on this. Look at our XG, though, compared to theirs. Oh, dear. Okay. I feel like I've been FM'd there. It's a combination of being FM'd and just an absolutely, genuinely pathetic goalkeeping performance. And now Tom Best's out for a month. Honestly, if I was ever going to reload, it would be right now, this moment. Because I'm not very happy. Well, with Best injured, that means 2 changes for this game. Obviously, Gilbert comes in goal, and we've brought Harvey Brown in on the right-hand side to deputise for Best. It's not ideal to have to play him there. We played him there on the first game of the season, I think, and he wasn't great. But it's his versatility is proving to be quite useful. He can play left wing, right wing, and left back, and that is quite handy for a squad player. I would very much like to not lose this football match, please and thank you. We have been in good form in the league. Let's remind ourselves of that. Look at Chalfo. Chalfo at it again. Chalfo trying to become our long-term rivals. We love having a rival story development, and Chalfo seemed to be aiming to do it. And Leo Young has scored a very powerful header to kick things off today. Spectacles and all. I'm surprised that doesn't break his glasses doing that, but I mean, it clearly doesn't because he keeps doing it. Far post header, lovely header as well off the inside of the post. They always look better when they go in off the post. Very, very fancy. And we are 1-0 up. I haven't even looked how good Worcester are. Worcester are down in the relegation zone, so you'd like to think this should be a game we're capable of winning even without Tom Best. And hopefully Gilbert can prove to be a more reliable goalkeeper than what we've had with Bosworth. I said before about how we can't defend. Maybe it's not that we can't defend. Maybe it's just that our goalkeeper doesn't ever keep goal. Perhaps this is the only improvement the defence needed, a change in the goalkeeper, which is mad because Bosworth set the club record for clean sheets in a season last year, and it wasn't even a promotion year. So there's no logical reason why he should go from being. He did so well last year. We gave him a 2-year contract in the summer. He's one of only 2 players. Him and Tom Best got 2-year contracts, and he's just started the season. Absolutely horrific. I don't know if it's the pressure of being the club captain now that's got to him. Is that a thing that can get to somebody in Football Manager? Could that be the reason he's just not performing? But he has just absolutely gone off a cliff. And, I mean, at least we've got a decent goalkeeper to swap in for him, and we can rotate a little bit there if need be. And this is going to be a test of Gilbert. If he can make the save, he cannot. Just goalkeepers in general, apparently. It wouldn't surprise me at all if this was the match engine's backwards way of punishing me for not using DMs anymore. Oh, you're not using defensive midfielders? That means your goalkeepers aren't going to be able to make saves anymore. Because that's logic. Because somewhere deep within the match result algorithm, it's like, oh, no defensive midfielder, not going to be as good defensively, so you do need to concede some goals. But the team is quite good. So it's quite hard for us to like show you conceding goals as a result of the change in formation. So what we'll just do is make your goalkeeper start making some mistakes. So the right results happen. It'll just look like it's the wrong thing causing it. I'm convinced stuff like that exists in Football Manager. It's the kind of thing that we're hoping with the new match engine in FM25 will be less obvious when it's just kind of, it's decided on the result and it then needs to represent the result in the match engine somehow. And there's limitations on how it can do it. I hope that's the kind of thing we see the end of with the new game coming out later this year. I can but hope. It's stuff we've been putting up with in Football Manager since the match engine became a thing. When did the 2D match engine come in? 20 years ago? Probably not far off. we've been dealing with this for a while. I'm ready to be done with it. But Worcester are on the attack. And that's not ideal. Can we get Best back in the team, please? Even an injured Tom Best is probably good enough to get a goal contribution over the course of 90 minutes. He never doesn't. Hungerford seem to be running away with the league as well. They've finished top 5 the last couple of years in this league, having spent a few years in the National League South. So I think this is the year Hungerford just run away with the league, and maybe the best we can hope for is the playoffs. And we all know that I've not got the best playoff record in the world. Right, now we've got a situation because we need to take off McDowell because he's on a yellow card and playing poorly. I'm going to drop Harvey Brown back to left back again. And then I think we bring on Viala to play on the right-hand side. He is training to play right midfield. He's an accomplished right winger, so maybe we just do this. Because again, if we play him in right midfield and the game is like, we can't play there, he'll play poorly, move him forward and he'll magically be really good. The problem with this is that now we're not playing with DMs. What we might do is take off O'Sullivan, bring on Alderson and do this and actually slip into the correct version of a 4-2-4 according to FM24 and hope that sparks us into doing a little bit more attacking against a team we should be capable of beating. It's a little bit harsh on O'Sullivan. It is nice to have someone a little bit more creative and a little bit more attacking in centre midfield. But I guess we sacrifice that in order to get our wingers a little bit further forward in the absence of Best and hopefully create something, although the change hasn't gone through yet. And Brown plays it across to Camper. And that's an 8th goal of the season for Sam Camper. That is what I was talking about in the intro. Get it out wide, get the crosses in, score the goals. That's what I've been enjoying seeing us do. And after that intro, I was a little bit worried we weren't going to see it in today's episode, which would have made me look like a silly goose. And the last thing I want to do is look like a silly goose. We're still going to go through the tactical changes because we need to make the substitution at left back anyway. But it's now... I mean, is it even an attacking change? We've dropped 2 centre mids back to DM. I don't know if it even is an attacking change. It's just a change in shape. And now we've got Cackett, who is tired, and we don't have anyone who can play on that left-hand side. This is the problem with a small squad. We could move Larson out to left back. Can you play left back? You can sort of play left back. Can you play left back? You can sort of play left back. Right, so we're going to bring on Sam Brown. And we're going to do that. But we'll make you the more defensive of the two because you're an actual defender. And we'll just swap these 2 over like this. Brown has played everywhere today. Versatility. That boy, he might not be a nailed-on starter in any one position. He is going to get some games this year because of all the positions he can play, though. So it's always handy to have at least a couple of them in the squad, especially a small squad. Players who can do centre-back and centre-mid, or can play up front and out on the wings. We've got a guy who can play both wings and fullback. Ideal. And we've just missed a big chance there, but we do have a corner. Please don't throw this away, chaps. Let's have a 3rd goal. Just wrap this up. Keep our pressure on Hungerford. That's what we're looking for, but their goalkeeper. Showing that it is possible to do. He just comes out, grabs a cross. Bosworth, watching from home, because I assume there's some kind of satellite feed straight into his house, just so we can passively aggressively teach him how to be a goalkeeper. He'll be fascinated that they were able to do that. We've given away a 92nd minute penalty. Oh, my word. It doesn't rain, it pours, boys and girls. Can Gilbert make a save? And no, he can't. Well, that's frustrating because that's a team we should be beating. This is 4 league draws in a row now, which is also frustrating. we are still in second place in the league because I think everyone else around us is just as inconsistent as we are. Or are we consistent? That's consistently 5 games now without a win, 4 draws in a row in the league. We need a little spark of something, and that little spark will probably be the return of Tom Best as and when it happens. At least we're not losing, I guess, apart from the FA Cup. Harvey Brown had a good game as well. There's a few positives to pull out of it. When do we play Hungerford? That feels like that's probably a thing to see tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.